Egbọma na-ege ntị, anyị ekene unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi tata. Daalụ niile unu si wee na-esoro anyị ya na-eme na Eastern News 24. Anyị sịkwa nke echiri ya zelu, anyị sị na-adụ niile na mma kara bụ ndị na-agba mbọ na-esoro anyị ya na-eme n'iru akwụkwọ. Anyị sị na nụrụ ya dịka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ, otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Dịka o si dị, anyị eje nke agbapụ na osi gosi unu ya ji maka ya wee bịa ụbọchị nke taa. O nwere ozi wetara unu from the office of Biafran Prime Minister bụ onye isi bụ Mazi Simon Ekpa, nwere okwu n'iru akwụkwọ a mma achọ ka unu gee ya bụ ife. O nwere instruction okwu gasị dị iche iche mana achọ m ka o si m n'ọnụ pụta, so gee na ya bụ ife unu ga-esi ya ọ na-adọrọpụ kọmentị unu gbasịta maka ife ichere n'ihe the Biafran Prime Minister kwuru n'ụbọchị nke taa bụ ụbọchị ịbụa nke ọnwa November. All right, over to you, sir.
To Allied soil after defeat by Hitler. The only government in exile whose constitutional continuity may be questioned is the Czechoslovakia. The Czechoslovakia was the only government that sustained after the Hitler and after the invasion of many countries within Europe. On October 5th, 1938, shortly after the Munich conference, Edward Benz resigned as the president, but Czechoslovakia government continued to function under President Hacha and Premier Rudolf Beran. The leader of the Agrarian Republican Party, along with former Premier Milan Husa, until the German invaded the country in March 1939. President Hacha government had been recognized by France, England, and the United States. In the effort to lend weight to the Munich Agreement, but when a protectorate under von Norwich was established by the German occupant, no steps were taken by the Hacha cabinet to contest the legality of the new regime. Even though France, Great Britain, and the United States explicitly refused to recognize the puppet state. The campaign for a new Czechoslovakia government started in exile as well. Very soon after, when March 1939, Czechoslovakia diplomatic representatives in the United States urged Dr. Benz to assist them. Now, having listened to this short brief about the exile government and how it started, we may also need to look into functions of the exile government as you see today under international law. International law recognizes that the government in exile may undertake many steps of type of actions to conduct of their daily affairs. These actions include becoming a party to bilateral international treaty. Biafra has signed some international bilateral agreement and treaty, and many are on the way. It was possible because of the formation of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Amending or revisiting its own constitution, the Biafra Republic government in exile has adopted a charter called the Helsinki Declaration. Maintaining military forces, the Biafra Republic government in exile has formed its own military forces called the Biafra Liberation Army and Biafra Resistance Fighters, Biafra Navy, and Biafra Air Force, as empowered by the international law. Retaining or newly obtaining diplomatic recognition from other states, that's exactly what Biafra Republic government in exile is doing. We are obtaining diplomatic recognition from other states, and many states have extended their hands of fellowship to the Biafra Republic government in exile, including the recent one today. On this day, we have received an offer of recognition from intending state. Issuing identity card is part of the function of the government in exile. Biafra government in exile have activated the data collection of every Biafran all over the world, including the issuance of the Biafra National Identity Card. This particular identity card was unveiled during the Helsinki Declaration here in Finland. The government in exile function is also allowing the formation of new political parties. This is what Biafra Republic government in exile and the de facto government is going to do in the nearest future. Holding election. Holding election is what the Biafra Republic government in exile and de facto government is going to do in the nearest future. Now, fellow Biafrans, having listened to the functions of government in exile, of which the Biafra people are operating now, and I am the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, let us now go into the delegitimization process of the Nigerian government within Biafra land. The delegitimization of the Nigerian government within Biafra land have started, and it has started with full force. This delegitimization is coupled with the self-defense, making sure our women and children are not killed anymore, making sure our women and children and elderly people don't pay the price of being one Nigeria, making sure that no genocide is being committed without resistance. We are resisting them through and using the delegitimization system and method. Today, our Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra resistance fighters are engaging the terrorist state of Nigeria, who come to kill, maim, and destroy. I want to inform you all that as we step into the next level of the delegitimization of the Nigerian government within Biafra land, a lot is going to take place. Our aim, objective, and target is to make sure that the enablers of this evil government within Biafra territory will be evicted. In the coming days, there is something that is going to happen in IMO State. We were told that the Nigeria terrorist state is about to conduct election in IMO State. And I want to make it very clear on this day that Biafra people will never allow Nigeria anymore to validate any government within Biafra land. Biafra people are not going to allow Nigeria to conduct the election in IMO State. But I have a message for the people of Biafra. The result of this coming election in IMO State has been written by Hope Uzodinma. And he has paid INEC. And INEC has a copy of that result. So it does not matter whether there is an election or whether there is an election. Hope Uzodinma is already there. He has the result written. But what we want to prove to the world is that there will be no election in IMO State, and they are still going to call Hope Uzodinma as the winner. And even if election takes place in IMO State, they are still going to call Hope Uzodinma as the winner. So for that reason, we want to prove to the world that first, we will never validate the evil entity called Nigeria, the fraudulent entity called Nigeria. There is no election taking place in Nigeria. We have seen it in the general election. We have seen it in the other election this year. And just the general election, presidential election, the court ruled who become the president. It is not by your vote. It is not by a democratic process. There is nothing like democratic process in Nigeria. So for that reason, apart from other things that we have come to see, evidently, the election will be, we are going to make sure that election don't take place in Biafra, starting from IMO State. And that is part of the delegitimization of the Nigerian government within Biafra land. We are only asking for a true democratic process that will lead us to a new nation, a nation where the vote of the people will be counted, a nation where we are going to practice a true democracy, a nation where people will come out to vote and their vote will be counted. So we don't want a nation where somebody will be somewhere and have written results since last year and have a copy of that result, and the copy of the result is with the INEC, and then they are coming to deceive the public, and people will go out, and at the end of the day, they're going to call his name. And I want Biafrans to understand that you don't forget how Hope Uzodinma became the governor of Imo State. It was by court. They control the court. They pay the judges. In the coming judgment of the 5th of December, I came publicly to announce that we have knowledge and intel that the judges have collected 1.2 billion naira each in order to shift the date of the judgment between Hope Uzodinma and Ihedioha to the 5th of December, so that by then they have done their selection in November 11. I made that particular exposition on our official Twitter handle, and yesterday the news was public. So what I'm telling you now is that there is nothing going on in Nigeria that we do not know. Every Biafran anywhere in Nigeria is a true Biafran, and they don't want Nigeria, but many of them are scared of getting killed. So I want every Biafran to listen and listen attentively how the delegitimization of Nigeria is going to start from Imo State. We are going to make following announcement to make sure that the Biafra Republic government in exile, collaborating with the de facto government, Biafra de facto government in the homeland, will make sure that we do not validate evil entity called Nigeria again. It starts from Imo State, and every one of you in Imo State have a very important role to play. The role you have to play is when this
Igbo ọma na-ege ntị, daalụ nne na okunu si na-esonyere anyị n'ụbọchị nke taata anụwa bụ ụbọchị nke abụọ nke ọnwa Nọvemba. Dịka o si gbatakwulu, ọ na-afụgo n'ife Biafran Prime Minister Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gasị n'iru akwụkwọ nke dịka ibe ya bụ na o kwere dịka o si wee dị, maka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ihe ndị a niile o kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ a. Gbaa mbọ ka ị dropụrụ anyị kọmentị gị on the comment section below. Once again, echefuna na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka site nwetara nnukwu ozi a dị oke mkpa. Daalụ ụmụnne m, ngwanụ ka emesịa.